Welcome back, trainers. So I hope everybody had a great time out here for the 3-hour Lapras raid period, featuring a shiny Lapras as well as a legacy moveset, which is fantastic. I want to give a big shout out to my raid group. These are the guys that I'm always rolling with, and it's just so smooth. We get a lot done, and it's just really good company. So we have my item comparison here. I should have took a screenshot of my Laprases as well, but as you can see, I am so good on charge TMs. And those are not necessarily coming from the tasks for this specific event, but from doing so many raids, as well as my rare candies stack up pretty well. So we're looking fantastic in that regard. So how did you guys do? Myself personally, I caught 6 of them. So I don't really want to spoil the video, but it's in the title. You're going to see it throughout this video. We're going to do a little montage. I'm going to put some music in here. And towards the very end, I'm going to kind of talk about which Laprases you really kind of want and how well the Ice Shard and Ice Beam Lapras is going to be performing. So we do have our first shiny right here. That's going to be a 1487, and you know how they are a one and done. If you throw the Premier Ball, they shouldn't break out, but depending on how fast you're going, they just might break out. So I threw the Pineapple because, you know, I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to catch it with one Premier Ball here. And when it came down to hitting these things, they were giving me some trouble. Whenever they were shiny, at least, they kept hitting it away and I wasn't paying attention. And this broke out here. We went to the next raid and I'm sitting there like, hold on guys, let me catch my shiny. It's breaking out of the Premier Ball. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it up with a second one here. Let's see what happens. Not even one shake and it breaks out there. And at this point we were actually we were away from the gym. So if it did, you know, somehow run away and I still had Premier Balls left, I'd have to go back to that gym, and that would have aided into our time significantly. And if you're wondering, well, how many raids did you do? We hit 40. We managed to do 40. This was a very good run. We have a very nice route that we take. We've been doing this since the legendary raid period for the birds, and it's working out perfectly for us. So we're going to keep it up that way. And so there we have my first shiny Lapras. And it's really nice that they're perfect for the Great League. Now, if you're trying to get a lower attack one, you could possibly trade a few people if you have a whole bunch of shiny Lapras that you're willing to trade off to become worse IVs. So you can, basically maybe power them up another level or two, which would make a bit of a difference. But I'm going to tell you this right now, guys. If you have a Dragon Pulse Lapras, that's going to be a legacy as well, an older one, that's almost going to be your better bet, personally. I mean, if you're going to be going up against another Lapras, I found that I'm always going to be able to win that mirror match, because if they hit you up with Ice Beam, it's not going to be very effective to your Lapras. If they hit you up with Surf, not very effective. But if you do have Dragon Pulse, guess what? You're going to be doing neutral damage and you're going to win that mirror match there. But I mean, there's no way you can have a double legacy like, say, Dragon Breath and Ice Beam, because we were not able to purchase secondary moves back when these legacy moves were available, and you simply couldn't have both of them at the same time. But if you did have an Ice Shard and Ice Beam Lapras, well, you could disguise your legacy moves. And we discussed this in my last video very briefly. And if you did not watch that hour-long video, I will explain to you what I'm talking about. So if you're going into the Silph Arena Cups and you're bringing shiny Pokemon, which is fantastic, absolutely do it. Go for it. But I'm just going to let you know, if you have like an all shiny team, that's different. But if you have, say, a couple shinies and possibly your Lapras is the shiny, and with the legacy, they're automatically going to basically know, well, that's going to be a legacy after today. But if you do have an older legacy Lapras with the moveset that was given out for the shinies, you will be able to conceal it and kind of confuse them to some degree whether or not you have Ice Beam. As soon as you throw that Lapras out there and you start hitting it up with that Ice Quick move that is legacy, they're obviously going to know, well, that's a legacy, but they're not going to 100% know that you have Ice Beam, okay? So that's a little hint there, as well as discussed this Arcanine with Bulldoze possibly, and several others. We have Omnistar if you have a shiny, and a few people were commenting, well, I love to use my shinies in battles. Well, yes, like I said, go ahead and do that. I'm just giving you a tip for the people out there who know exactly what's going on with these movesets, and they need to kind of predict what you're going to have behind that Pokemon as far as charge moves go. If you're going in with the shinies, say you go in there with an Arcanine for the specific cup that we're in for the Rainbow Cup, and they don't need to worry about it having Bulldoze. They need to worry about it having Wild Charge, because that's not a legacy and you can currently get that. And they also do not need to worry about flamethrower. See? So just little things like that that will give you the edge in battle. I know I love to go in there with the shiny Pokemon too, but unless you're running a full shiny team, which is, you know, for fun and awesome, but hey, don't put it past anybody, because we see Scarlet take second place with that. But for the most part, if you're trying to conceal some sort of move, that's going to be your best bet, is going with those non-shiny Pokemon to hide those legacies. And I forgot to mention, if you're looking at my item comparison, the one to the left back there was going to be before we started raiding, and the one to the right is going to be afterwards. And if you're looking at my raid passes, like, well, you didn't really use that much. Did you really do 40? We did. I just purchased a box with 20 passes in it during the raid time there, because I did run out of star pieces and I needed a little bit more. So I went ahead and bought that. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at this montage here. And towards the end, we're going to go over Lapras's moves and what's going to be more preferred, what's doing the most damage, and how well is the legacy move really going to be performing. And all the clips you're going to be seeing here are in order, so I didn't put any others in specific order to my likings. They are as they came. So with that said, enjoy this montage, and I'll be back in a minute to talk about the movesets.
The remix god!
So there you have it, trainers. I was actually able to find myself 6 shiny Lapras, including a 98%. Wow, did you see that one? Amazing. So total in our car, I do believe we had 27 shiny Lapras for the day. So I started off pretty good. We all did. We found our shinies. And then it started getting a little grim. I wasn't finding my second one, and I was like, okay, I'm fine with just one. You know, we have the legacies. I'm cool with that. But then all of a sudden, as you've seen there, they just started coming in like crazy. And then I had the 3 back to back to back, which was quite amazing. Anyways, with that said, this is going to be for PvE here. As you can see, Water Gun Surf, and then Frost Breath Surf, Water Gun Blizzard, Water Gun Hydro Pump, and then so on down the list. If you're wondering, well, what about Ice Shards? I thought that was one of the best ones to actually have. And it is. This is going to be for PvE. And Water Gun is, performing a little bit better regarding damage per second here. We're going to go ahead and look at the energy that you will be accumulating with Ice Shards as well as Water Gun, so you can see the comparison here as to why it's showing up higher on the list. So be happy that you have your Ice Shard and Ice Beam. And now we have PvP here. As you can see, Ice Shard does pull up into that second place. Water Gun is going to be doing a little bit more damage, but Ice Shard can help you in some sort of situation, depending upon if you're going up against, say, a Grass-type Pokemon. You'll be doing a lot more damage there, as opposed to Water Gun. Although Water Gun is an amazing move, obviously it's not going to be very effective to Grass types. So there you have the charts here, and maybe make your decision on what you want to run. The Ice Shard and Ice Beam Lapras is amazing. Let's just say that. It is going to cost you 75,000 Stardust and 75 candies to purchase that secondary move, but it's going to be well worth it, seeing that you're going to have both ice and water on your side. Super effective against possibly flying types as well as fire with that ice and water combination and any other types in between there. And that previous spreadsheet is going to be from the Game Press, which I will be leaving a link in the description. And then this one here is going to be from the Go Hub, which I will also be putting a link in the description for you too. Now let's go ahead and look for Ice Shard and then Water Gun so we can do that quick comparison, and then we're going to wrap it up here. So if you're wondering, okay, well, how good is Ice Shard and how much energy do you get per move? Well, it's going to be pretty good. If you go ahead and scroll down to the middle here, we see Ice Shard right underneath Fire Spin, which is going to be doing 9 power and then 10 energy, which is fairly good when we take a look at Water Gun's energy per turn. So Ice Shard has 10. Now let's just go ahead and scroll down here until we can find Water Gun. So this is a pretty nice site if you're looking for comparisons. There's many out there, but this one is just the quick go-to for me. So we do have Water Gun here with 3 for the power and then 3 for the energy gain. So you can clearly see Water Gun is not going to be granting you that much energy, but on the other hand, it is going to be a lot faster. So that is something to take note of. Water Gun is a very favorable move for me personally. It has been working great on my other Lapras, especially with the combination of the Dragon Pulse. Now, if I did have Ice Shard, I will be able to get to that Dragon Pulse a whole lot quicker, but they're legacies and they're very hard to come across. I'm very lucky to even have the Dragon Pulse one, which has proven amazing going up against those mirror matches. So there you have it regarding that. If you're wondering, okay, well, why is Ice Shard so good? Why do people keep talking about this legacy Ice Shard? It's going to be granting you a whole lot more energy than Water Gun, but Water Gun can find its usability in specific situations as well. And here are my shiny collections, and as you can see, I do have an Aeron here. No, I did not hatch that. I actually Go Plussed it during this little raid period, so let's go ahead and appraise it. Decent HP. Okay, amazing. It's always nice Go Plussing a shiny. So there you have it, 6 Lapras and 1 Aeron. Very good. So I hope you all had a good time out there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will be catching you all next time. Take care.